Fox News alert, Chinese President Xi Jinping arriving in Moscow, where he will be meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin within the hour. It comes as China moves to write a new world order.
There's no question that both China and Russia, and this is right out in the national security strategy, are two countries that are chafing against this international rules-based order that the United States and so many of our allies and partners have built up. They'd like to rewrite the rules of the game globally, and they have been increasing their cooperation and their relationship.
Adam Boehler is a former senior Trump administration official and former Abraham Accords and Taliban negotiator. He joins us now. Adam, great to have you on the program. Are you buying this Xi Jinping line that I'm only there as a peacemaker versus the more likely scenario of, hey, I'm there to sort of displace America in this new world order?
I mean, it's coming right on the heels of his success in the Middle East. And so I think she's definitely going to look for a win here together with Putin. So I don't think it's really about ending the Ukraine efforts, et cetera. I think a lot of it is an anti-U.S. sentiment here to drive diplomatic victory for the Chinese.
Adam, how high are the stakes of this meeting today?
I think the meeting's all preordained. I mean, the two have been coming closer together. Their mutual shared interest is kind of an anti-West approach. So I think a lot of it will be pomp and circumstance. The things we need to look for in this meeting will be under the scenes, or behind the scenes. So I would say, number one, are we going to have a situation where China is going to support Russia with lethal weapons in the war? That's going to be the first question that the intelligence community is going to watch for and look for, and that won't be announced. And then the second is, how much can China push towards some sort of conclusion? They reached a kind of 12-point peace suggestion before the meetings back in the end of February, which was pretty general. I don't expect much progress there. I think what you'll see is a lot of discussions and meetings around how they're going to collaborate together at a higher level.
You just heard this morning China's foreign ministry now defending Vladimir Putin after the International Criminal Court issued a warrant for his arrest. The ICC, quote, should uphold an objective and impartial stance, respect the jurisdictional immunity enjoyed by the head of state in accordance with international law, exercise its functions and powers prudently by the law, interpret and apply international law in good faith, and avoid politicization and double standards. Taking that, combine that with the overall trip, do you think any of this would be happening if Joe Biden were stronger on the world stage?
Absolutely not. There wouldn't be a war in Ukraine if not. This is a region that responds to strength. And I will tell you that everything begets everything. So when you look at the start of the Russia action, it really stemmed from our action in Afghanistan. And when we had that disaster pulling out, it shows somebody like Vladimir Putin that they can take advantage of where we are. And that has led to all of this. It led to what you saw in the Middle East. I think what happened with Xi coming in and bridging our enemy, Iran, into Saudi Arabia is a direct affront to the Abraham Accords, and it shows that we're losing strength in the region. And so I think it's a huge issue. It's brought Russia and China closer together. Now our plan here, I will say it's an uneasy alliance because the Chinese like things planned out for, quite frankly, hundreds of years. Putin plans for weeks and has made some real ill-timed things with the Ukraine war. So our key here is we might have some shared interest with China in ending the Ukraine conflict. So there could be some quiet things that happen in the background, but there's no question any of this would be happening under the prior administration.
You know, you said it's because we're losing strength. How do we regain that, and whose shoulders does it lie on?
It lies on our shoulders. I mean, let's start a few things. Number one, we need to kind of re-engage Middle East and be a dependable partner from that perspective. The other thing we need to do from a Russia perspective is I agree with a couple things we're doing now. I like that we're declassifying information, and I like that we're providing weapons. Here's the issue. They're half measures. You say you're going to provide tanks, then they come 6 months later. So we can't take half measures. We need to be strong and consistent in our support, or don't do it at all. We're kind of getting the worst of both worlds. So what I'd like to see is very direct support that comes right away, not months and months later.
When it comes to weapons, before we let you go, is Putin going to walk away with some significant weaponry from Xi Jinping today?
I think he's going to walk away with something. The question is how much and how lethal. But there's no question that you're going to see some support. And I bet it's characterized as defense against kind of Western aggression, et cetera. So it's all going to fit within the dialogue that you hear. The question that we're all going to be looking for behind the scenes is how much and how lethal versus some of these other things.
All right, Adam Boehler, thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.